Carla was amazing. We weren't 5 for 6 from the three in the first quarter. I know that. And just really, we scored more points in the first quarter than we had in the entire half at Notre Dame and at Carolina. So I thought it was really important. It was really adults. I mean, I didn't even hype them up before the game. We didn't do the whole rivalry thing. We talked about it a little bit, but it was more so like a validation for us. I think it was a complete validation for this team that works their tails off. You know, in the prep, the TV people were like, "How's your team? How are you? You okay?" I'm like, "Listen, raise your hand if you've won at Notre Dame this year." That nobody did. Like, we have to get over ourselves. We're
Right.
good, and there we had two really difficult road games back to back, and one that knocked us off our game. But like, there's talent and there's toughness, and we've played tough all year. And we had one game where we didn't play tough. That's okay. We got to move on and hunt wins. And I thought that was really important. It was more work here and mental between the ears this week than anything else in terms of. But I'm telling you, Michelle, if kids are asking, "Can I do film? Do you have time after practice? Can I get extra shots up?" They all were asking for work, and that gives you great faith as a coach, because that's the culture of this team. We know we've put the work in, and we know we have a solid foundation. So that was a complete validation for us. And Florida State was coming off two huge wins. We're coming off two huge losses. You know, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of emotional work, and our
Yeah.
emotional fuel tank was full. It never emptied out in this game.
That's awesome. That's really good. And I know it was the pink game today, right?
Yeah.
That's always one that it seems like there's always, some extra inspiration, motivation or something.
Yeah, we hustled all over the place, and I think our veterans played like veterans, and our young kids, like Jasmine Roberts. I don't know what her stats are going to be, but I'm telling you, what an emotional lift she gave us, just hustling, extra, diving on the floor, defending certain sets properly, hit a big bucket for us. Julia was, our team defense was there, but when we got it at the top, it ended up in Julia's hands a lot. So she was sharing the ball, attacking, keeping Florida State on their heels. So Florida State did not play their best basketball game of the year, and Miami kind of did. We kind of did. So it was a good night for us, because they're a great program. And I mean, they legit beat Notre Dame, and they legit beat Duke. I watched both. That was not a fluke. They are a very good basketball team, but so is Miami.
Right. And I believe it's the first time you've swept them. I know you don't focus on those things, but first time you've swept the Seminoles since 2012. So I think 10 years. So what does that mean? Just in-state rivalry,
Yeah, Shanice and Stroman were on the team, and now they're on my staff. And they had a little highlight video before the game, letting the kids know what they expected from them, and I think that helps a lot. I mean, it was alumni day as well, and so there's just a lot to play for in a game like this. Everything was on the line, being honest, and I think we played ourselves into a really good position. Now we're ahead of Florida State in the standings, having beaten them twice, and we got to take every opportunity that's in front of us and keep playing tough.
Yeah, and I know that's a program. Over the years, you've always said that you really respect Sue. You respect that program. I mean, that's a program that, beating them twice really is a major achievement.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal because Sue's a phenomenal coach. I mean, even I was prepping our Louisville game and watched them, and I was texting Sue that night as I'm watching the game, going, "Wow, I got a lot of offensive ideas. You did a fantastic job for Louisville." I mean, there's that much respect. I mean, she didn't share her secrets, but I just have a lot of respect for the coaches, all the coaches in this league. People do not understand. I was reading the pregame notes, the net ranking. We had, like, of the top 20, I think we had 6 in the top 20 in the net, and 3 more in the top 60. Like, do people understand what this grind is? And then you're throwing Tuesday games on top of it. It's a grind, but there's no team that's bad in this league, and there's no one that's unbeatable. And we're going to be that team that takes opportunities when we can get them. But this was a nice one.
Yeah. So now you carry this energy. This gives you definitely a boost heading forward now, because this is a tough time. Usually, by this time in February, like you said, it's a grind, and people hit a little bit of a wall emotionally and physically. So this has to give you a big boost.
Well, I think emotionally, like I said, a lot of work was done in our hearts and in our minds, and not so much X's and Oing. I don't think we did anything really new. It was just like, get your minds right, and their belief in themselves. Their belief in themselves that means everything to me as a coach. My players need to know that everywhere they turn, they got someone who's in their corner, has their back, and really believes in them, and challenges them, and tells them when they're bad. They tell them when they're bad, but that's not the end of the story. I mean, if you're bad, you're bad today. It's temporary. Get yourselves together. And it was a lot of coaching by the entire staff, a lot of one-on-one in the last couple of days, and it paid off. And that just, it's so rewarding as a coach.
Yeah, I want to ask you, expound a little more on, Shanice and Morgan, Stroman. Tell me a little more about how much they inspire the team. Particularly, you said you showed, they showed video of this particular thing of beating FSU,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that resonates with the players,
It does. It does. I think, some of our players are like, wow, because I said afterwards in the locker room, last time we swept them, because Megan had told me it was 2012. That was Shanice's senior year. And Stroh was like, well, I was on the team too. So they have a lot of pride in Miami. And I think both of them are helping. One of the reasons they're here working is because they feel like they want to give back to a place that gave them so much pride, and they want to make sure our players are playing with it. And if we play tough, I'll take this team any day of the week, playing tough and believing in themselves.